Pregame.com.
Welcome back to Pregame.tv. NFL Sunday action. We've got San Diego at Miami. This is going to be Ken Thomson's free pick. Guys, I got to ask, we all watched Monday Night Football. I was down Lugosi Stadium with you, Ken, and got a little hectic there at the end. I had Tampa Bay, and I really thought they were going to choke it away when Miami came back, took the lead, and then got the field goal tacked on there. Miami Dolphins, the performance Monday night. Is Miami this bad right now? Is the distractions, taking its toll? Or did they just face a team that, let's face it, we talked about it and it was part of my handicap, a winless team in a primetime game, home underdog Monday Night Football, just all those factors. Was that just a case of a team rising to the occasion?
I'll tell you what, first off, I'm impressed with Tampa Bay. Number one, they come off blowing the lead in Seattle, 21-0. They lose the game, they go home. You're right, okay, primetime game. They get up 15-0, but then they fall behind, and they found a way to win the game. So you say what you want about Schiano. His heart's still into it. You saw him embracing some of his players after the game. There are some guys that do like what he's trying to establish down there. There's a lot of guys in this day and age that don't want to practice hard. Schiano in his days at Rutgers and now with Tampa Bay, he makes you practice hard. If you're one of these lazy guys, you probably are going to be the first one that's going to voice out when things are going wrong and you start losing. It's easy to pile on and blame the coach. I happen to think Schiano's a good X's and O's guy and a solid football coach.
I can tell you one thing. It's a good thing that Tampa Bay did come back after blowing that lead, because your tab at Lugosi Stadium would have taken a major hit with me drowning my sorrows in that game doing the radio show and watching them choke it away. Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, Tampa has a history of blowing leads. I mean, they've been in a lot of these games.
On Monday Night Football?
Yeah, a lot of these games on the first half, they've been right in there. I had Miami in the game, and I couldn't believe how they struggled coming out of the gate. I thought with everything that was going on, you always hear the quotes, guys want to get on the playing field, get on. Even the announcers were talking about, they just seemed like a dead team, and I'm doing the live betting, and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be a blowout. Maybe I can get some of my money back on Tampa. But to their credit, they came back and played better later. I just wonder if it was a nerve situation, knowing the entire industry, the entire nation was watching every move they were making in that first half.
Well, that's one of the things I said on one of the radio shows I did last week, that for a team in turmoil, I've always thought the best thing in the world is to go on the road. When things aren't going well, get away from the home media and the local reporters with the mic in your face all the time, because you're going to get booed and stuff on the road. But I think this story was so big, and because this was a Monday night game, it just wouldn't go away. So it didn't matter where they were at. And I think that's kind of what you saw at the beginning of the game, that maybe, I think one of the announcers even said that it looks like the team's not prepared. I don't know that they weren't prepared. I just think they were mentally distracted with everything that was going on. And then as they got in it and got that late touchdown before the half, as much as they were dominated, and they were dominated to the score of 15-0 at that point. That score, as bad as they were dominated, should have been 3 touchdowns or more. Mm-hmm. And the fact that whenever they scored right before the half, because we were out somewhere else before we went to come over to Lugosi Stadium at halftime, I said, they score a touchdown here. I was with Johnny Detroit and my friend Chris. I said, this is a one-possession game. I said, I don't feel good sitting with Tampa on a one-possession game as much as I dominated the game.
Makes a lot of sense to me. I'm telling you, I'm glad that you won. I did play Tampa after Jacksonville came through for you. I just said, this is Marco's day.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what, Ken? This is your day because this is your free pick, so let's make it official.
All right. All right, you got a battle here in South Beach. Miami at home again. How about San Diego on the road again, going all the way to the East Coast? But San Diego's back's against the wall. They've now dropped to 4-5. Here's a team that, when you look at this team and you just go game by game, this team literally could be 7-2, 6-3. I think they should be. That's where I went over all 9 of their games. They should be sitting at 6-3 right now. Their back's against the wall. This is as far as they can go. They cannot go to 6 losses if they want to get a wild card in the AFC. I think they're going to take care of business. They still have a tough schedule. They've got to go to Denver. They still got to play Kansas City twice, so they know they need to take care of business. Phillip Rivers has still been solid, 105.9 quarterback rating. How about almost 72% completion ratio as far as his passes? 18 touchdowns, just 7 interceptions. Matthews has been okay. Woodhead has been a nice spark. Ronnie Brown, I would like to see San Diego, when they get to the 1 yard line or just inside the 1 yard line. If anybody watched the Raider game, I know it was a late Sunday night game, but go back and watch that. Ronnie Brown goes up and over for about 2 yards at midfield on a 4th and 1. Easily get it. Then they've had this scenario 4 or 5 times in the last several weeks where they're inside the 1 yard line and can't get in the end zone. What's wrong with Ronnie Brown? Up and over like old Sam Bam Cunningham. It probably works better than a quarterback sneak or giving it to the smallest guy on the field, Danny Woodhead. Antonio Gates, he's been solid. He's actually stayed healthy this year. Eddie Royal, he's catching touchdowns. Weddle still leads the defense. Donald Butler dropped a sure interception that he should have had on Manning last week and didn't get it, and that cost them. They hung within 8 of Denver. Of course, the line was 7.5 if you had the Chargers, and that didn't bode well. For Miami, they've still got the incognito Martin thing hanging over them. I know they're going to use that as a mulligan the rest of the year. This team, to me, looks like they're in a lot of trouble. I don't see this team winning too many more games. They're a fade for me the rest of the year. Again, there's just too much turmoil. We still don't know what's going to go on with Martin. Is he coming back? Got the owner getting involved now. Again, this team played with no heart on Monday. Yeah, they found a way to come back only because Tampa let them come back in the game. And I just think, Tannehill looks less than impressive. The running game, Lamar Miller, not impressive at all. Thomas has been a bust out of Kansas State. Hartline plays with heart. Mike Wallace is too busy bitching and complaining he's not getting the ball enough. Clay and Gibson not bad. And on defense, it's all about Cameron Wake. He got the safety for him, but he's a one-man band on the defense. So give me San Diego. I know they're going back east. I know it's a tough spot, but I think this is still a playoff caliber team. They don't win this week, they won't make the playoffs. Give me San Diego, and I think they beat Miami by 7 to 10 points.
Okay, there you have it. Ken says to take the San Diego Superchargers on Sunday. We're going to come right back. We've got one more NFL game for Sunday. It's a game might be a little bit interested in, you think? Have a couple people watching this one? The undefeated Kansas City Chiefs go in to play the Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning. That's up next, pregame.tv.